Hi, we're here to talk about stalemates, the 5 different kinds of stalemates that happen at chess games, especially in chess tournaments. The most common stalemate, what a stalemate really means is neither player can win the game at that point. So in this case, white is winning the game. White moves a rook down here trying to attack the king, and the king takes a rook. Once there's only one king for each player on the board, it is a stalemate. There's no way for each player to win. But there's several other stalemates in the game that kids often, especially the younger ones, don't know. If at the end of the game, black, let's say, is winning and only has a knight, it is impossible for a king and a knight to win the game. So it is a stalemate at that point. Often you see these games go for a long time until somebody gives them a hint that the game is over. Another one is if there is a bishop at the end of the game, you can't win with that either. So this is the second one, insufficient material.
And a lot of times the way this will end in a stalemate is the 50 moves, right?
Yes.
Because you've only got a king left, and so maybe that's a good time to explain that one. This one, it's impossible. Kids will keep trying, but as long as white knows they've only got 50 moves, it won't go forever.
Yeah, and if they have, let's give them some more pieces. All these pieces, very few younger kids can win with those 4 pieces. They will not know how to do it. And this king will keep dancing around the board until you get to 50 moves. So what happens at a chess tournament is as soon as this king, let's say, has a pawn, and let's say the pawn goes here and he takes the pawn, at this point there's supposed to be a pad of paper taken out, and for every time white moves a piece, puts down a little check until it gets to 50 moves. If your child goes to tournaments, especially if they're younger, you might have them bring a piece of paper with them, and this way that they can tell the officials this is what really happened.
Or the official could just come and watch the rest of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of times the officials will come watch the rest of the game. So these are the most common stalemates. Other stalemates you'll hear about is the 3-move reoccurrence on the board. Now I'll give you an example of that. Let's say, in this case, actually let's pretend, well, here we go. White's here. Those 2 pieces are trapped. So in this case, if white goes here, and black goes there, and white goes here, and black goes here, and see how this is going on forever? If that happens officially 3 times, that is a stalemate. Now, for a tournament, if they don't record it, it's really hard for officials to call it on that. And about more than half the time I've seen this called is actually older kids bullying younger kids, saying it's a 3-move recurrence, and they don't understand because it's not that simple. If there is another piece on the board, and this king moves here, this king moves here, and the knight moves, then it starts all over again. It has to be, everything on the board has to be there. So really, it doesn't happen very often. I'd rather the kids just play it out anyways. What other stalemates do we have? Agreements. So at any time in the game, you may offer a stalemate in a game. Now, the times you want to offer a stalemate is when it's something like this, and you know nobody's going to win, and these pieces are off the board, and normally your opponent doesn't know. You can offer stalemate. If you see, neither of us can win. Sometimes older kids will call a stalemate on younger kids, more of a bullying move, trying to trick them because they know they're losing. Or the kids are deciding they don't think they can win. I'd say more than half the time the kids think the game's a stalemate and there's still pieces on the board, it's not really a stalemate. And they should play it out until it's just a knight or a bishop on the board of the 50 moves. I believe that's all the stalemates. Any others?
No, if one color doesn't have any legal moves.
Oh, yes. We didn't cover that one yet.
You can't put yourself in checkmate. So if I have, well, let's say I'm white going that way. I've got no legal moves because what's a good stalemate setup? Right.
I'm a rook or a queen?
Give me a, just set me up something like, whatever, this. Right? So
it's white's turn.
White's turn. I can't move. This is illegal to put myself in checkmate. So I can't move the king. I can't move the pawn because it's blocked.
And you can't take the rook.
And I can't take the rook because it's protected. And so this is a situation where the king or white, the light-colored pieces have no legal moves, so it's a stalemate.
But they're not in check.
Not in check.
Oh, yes. And then this one can be a little bit more interesting if it's like this in the game. This is still not a stalemate because white can still move a piece.
White can move.
Now, more advanced players, when they're in the game and they realize someone's coming down to checkmate them, and they only have pawns left in the game, they often want to lock them up. So if this kind of situation happens, it is a stalemate.
And if white has some other piece floating around out there, even though the king can't move, the pawn can't move, if any piece can still move, you're not in stalemate. You can dance around all day out here. It's not going to end the game.